Peace and blessings, plant lovers, and thank you for visiting my channel. I always appreciate you guys coming back. I wanted to give you a fall update on all of my plants, and I wanted to do it in 3 parts, so the video will not be long. So this video will actually be on my updates on my succulents, and I'll have another part that will be on my cacti collection, and the third part of the video will be on my houseplants, my foliage houseplants. So as you guys already see, I have this 3-tier sunlight garden system, which I'm in love with, and it allowed me to be able to collect an obscene amount of succulents in a very short period of time because I had the space to be able to do it with this system. And now, as you see, I'm out of space, and so I have to do a lot of doubling and tripling up inside of the pots. So if we go to each one of them, giving you an update. In this pot, I have some babies in here, some that I used from leaf propagation and some that were pups that were from mature plants. So this one right here, this little baby one right there that you see, that one actually is from a leaf. And so that's actually my first baby propagation. So those are some baby Echeveria Lolas. This one is my Setiveria Letizia, which is doing very nicely and getting those nice little pink tips. This one is a new one. I don't know what the name of that one is. I've been looking all over, and I've seen pictures that were very similar to this. Still not sure. So guys, give me some help with that one. Over here, I had to double up, and I had to put these Crassula. What are these? These are the string of buttons. So the Crassula perforata, and then I had to put a Haworthia in there too. The Crassula perforata, the string of buttons are not doing too well. I keep watering them, but they still have that shriveled look. So it's not absorbing the water. So it's probably having some type of root damage. Here, I have my Proud Echeveria Blueprints. I just acquired this recently. So I have the Blueprints. I have the Echeveria Black Prints. The reason why they're Black Prints, as a matter of fact, the Black Knight. Sorry, this is the Black Knight. So this is the Echeveria Blueprints. That is the Black Knight. And this is the Black Prince. So the Black Prince and the Black Knight are not doing too well, as you see, because the Black Knight had a big flower stalk. And as you know, when you're growing succulents and they have a flower stalk, they will drain the energy from the adult plant. And so that shriveledness is not because I didn't water, it's because it was taking the energy from it and it looked like it was dying, and so I cut it. Same thing is going here. I'm trying to debate whether or not if I want to see what these flowers look like and enjoy the flowers, you know, or do I want to not sacrifice the plant and just cut those off. So we'll see. So those are my beauties back there, my royalty. Here I have a mixture of my Echeveria Moranii, which is still doing well, that you saw from last time. I have an Echeveria Lola, which is not flourishing as much. It actually had some root rot, and I saved it a little bit. My Crassula Moonglow is doing well. It's a slow grower. Back here, I have let me see, what is this one? This one is the Echeveria Fleur Blanc. And I lost a lot of leaves, but as you see in here, I'm having a lot of new growth. And the one good thing about succulents is that they can be very forgiving and they will survive. So those are doing well here. This one is a new baby, and this one is my Echeveria Petrus Pearl, which is doing so pretty. See the colors in that one? Love it. What do I have here? I have Graptivaria Moonglows. Yep. And as you see under here, the pups, I have a couple of pups there, one on their side and one on this side. You can even see some down in the middle. So those are pretty. Okay, in this arrangement, I have my Echeveria Neon Breaker, which is not doing much of anything. I also have an assortment of my Graptosedum California Sunsets. I have the Graptosedum, what are these? So the Alpine Glow, or the Vera Higgins. And then down here are, do you see those little ones? Those are some Crassula brevifolia. Okay. This one is a Graptoveria Debbie. This one is doing nicely. See the baby in that one? Pretty. Haworthia Cuspidata Variegata is doing well. The Adromiscus, or the crinkle leaf. This is the Adromiscus cristatus. So as you see, I'm having a lot of little babies down in there. So this one is growing nicely. Next to it is the Crassula Burgundy. Excuse my voice, I'm recovering from a cold. The Crassula Burgundies actually had cases of mealybugs, and I had to treat it twice, but it's actually recovering nicely. So you have to make sure that you're checking in your succulents on a daily basis because it will spread quickly. Here's my Echeveria Red Edge, and I'm now finally, if you saw from the first succulent showcase, this was all green. So, and I kept saying it was Echeveria Red Edge, and I thought I mislabeled it, and now you see the red that is actually coming and peeking through now. Here's my Aeonium Kiwi that is still seeming to be dormant because it has not shown growth since the last video, and I believe that was in September, either August or September. Look at these beautiful ghost plants, my Graptopetulum paraguanese. From the last video, these were really beat up when I got these from Lowe's and had a lot of scar tissue and no new growth. And look at the new growth, it's coming in like a rainbow. They are beautiful. That's why I love the ghost plant. The Christmas Carol Aloe is doing well. The Portulacara Afra Variegata also had a case of mealybugs, and I treated it, so now it's starting to recover. The Portulacara, this is the Elephant Bush. That one is doing nicely. As you see, you hit the little babies that are poking from the top. Here, I have some jelly beans, some sedums. Look at my Kalanchoe. My Kalanchoe Fetchkin Koi with the pink edges. Some more Graptosedum California Sunsets. All right, I believe that was it with that tray. So this whole tray, I also have some string of pearls that I got from clippings, and I don't know if they're gonna survive. As you see that it's already using up its reserves. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, this is the first tray. And they're all doing nicely. I did have some casualties up here. I'll show you those in a moment. So now we go down to the second tray. My Supervivums, my hens and chicks, they're doing nicely. They're growing. The Gasteria, you guys helped me to identify this one last time, so thank you. The Gasteria maculata, so that one's growing nicely. I believe this is a Pachaphytum. I finally identified that one, but I just don't know which type. So I'm getting some really good new growth on the top there. This one here is a new one, this Silver Coral, and I don't know what's going on with that one. As you see, it's getting limp. I don't know if I overwatered, but it has a lot of new growth coming in. So I did cease on watering this one and allowing it to recover and see what happens. And this one, these are new ones, so you did not see these last time. These, I have the Echeveria purpureum, the nodulosa. So there's two Echeveria nodulosa heads there, and And I have the tip where I cut off the head and because it was too long, and I buried it back down in here, and then I'm hoping I get some new growth. And I do see a bud right there. So those are, might as well say 3, Echeveria nodulosa, Echeveria purpureum. This one is the Echeveria atlantis, the Echeveria Polydontis. And if you look closely on the Polydontis, you'll see that it's getting some babies down in there. Can you see that? Right down in here. I cannot wait to see what that looks like. See if we go back here. You did see this one last time. I'm going to redo this one because I found that the sand was retaining too much water at the top level, and I don't think it was getting down into the dirt, and I had to remove a lot of the sand. So I'm going to redo this one. But just as an update, these are doing well. My Graptivaria Bashful, the Patchivaria Claire is doing nicely. You see, I have some nice new growth. Okay, let me see a more Aeonium kiwi. Now this one actually has growth, and it has some babies underneath there, if you can see that. The Echeveria runanii, or the topsy-turvy, so that one was a baby. So it has some really nice new growth back there. And over here is the Echeveria Pearl von Nürnberg. And if you look down in here, which I have to move because you have to really dig deep just to see it, you'll see that Echeveria Aphrodite. I have to move that because you cannot even see it, but it's doing well. So it likes to be hidden. So that's in that section. Oh, and I also have some, what are these columns? Those are your like jades or Chrysula golem. I know that one. All right, so if I move over here, I have my Peperomia graveolens. I have in here this Echeveria neon breaker, but it's a coral glow. I found out it was a coral glow, so it's not a neon breaker. It's Echeveria coral glow. Here's my string of pearls that are actually recovering, and now they're getting all big and juicy and plump. What is this one? I have to figure out what that one is. I forgot. I always have a hard time with this one. As you see here, I'm getting the yellowing in the leaves. It's because it's always seeming to be overwatered, even when I do not water it. Pisses me off. And this one I love this red pagoda back here. So it has been growing so nice. Okay, you see a lot of babies. It's called a red pagoda. I like that one. The Echeveria minima, you see how it was really scarred. If you see from the last video, this is another Lowe's recovery. And so I saved this from Lowe's, and you see all the scar tissue around it and how badly damaged it was. And now you see the new growth. So now you're gonna actually really see the beauty of the plant from inside. So when you have succulents that look like this, and if they're on sale, get them anyway. Because although the edges looks like that, you could easily take off the edges or take off the lower leaves and propagate them. Or you could just be patient like I am and just allow the new growth to come in, and it'll in time overtake the ones that are bruised. So I love that one. Here's a favorite of mine, and this is the Echeveria Morning Beauty. How pretty it is. Love that one. And in here I just have a little stone in there. Back here is my Pliosphelos Royal Flush. Another of my living stones. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see in there, you can see the growth down in there. And when it's growing like that, I do not water at all. So the whole time that it's been open and it had that growth down in there, I have not watered. If you water it, it will get all mushy. So don't touch it. Back here, I have my cotyledon bear's paws, the variegata. It's having a small amount of growth. It's growing slow. I don't know if it's because of this sand. So again, I don't like using this sand with the succulents because it's retaining the water too much and it's not going down into the dirt. Over here, I have my Crassula, my Kalanchoe tomentosa, which is a chocolate soldier. So I'm finally getting some new growth there. I found out that this is a Haworthia. Didn't even know that one. No, this is my aloe. This is my Haworthia. There we go. This is my Gymnosedum. I found out what that one was called. So it's called a sedum, Crimnosedum, and the nickname is called Little Gem. And look at all the little babies. Aren't they cute? They did not have all those little babies from that last video. Over here is another Hens and Chicks. Hasn't done much from the last video. The chick looked like it opened up a little bit more, but not much growth. Another Crassula Moonglow. I have my Sedum Firestorms here. Very little growth from the last video. Another Echeveria, and I never was sure what the name of that one is, but that one has actually been my healthiest Echeveria, and I do not even know the name of it. Over here is a Grapto Petulum Superbum, one of my favorites, and I've actually propagated this one because it had a lot of leaves. Okay, so that's that one. Have my Fred Ives, Graptoveria Fred Ives, which I love, and some more, another Echeveria Pearl von Nürnberg. It's not looking its healthiest, but I'm gonna give it some time. This one I have what is this one? This one is a Echeveria. I'll come back to that one, but I know it's Echeveria. This one is my Echeveria Tippy. Focus. There we go. Echeveria Tippy. Echeveria Azalea, and you saw from the last time it had all of those new growths there. And it's just getting a little bigger. I have a stone here, and that's only because I had my Echeveria Violet Queen that was here, and it actually died from root rot. And I had to try to salvage some of the leaves, so this is why I have my stone here. And again, I'm still trying to figure out with that. I know the name of it, but it's not in my head right now. Okay, so that is this tray. Let's focus. There we go. Now if we go down to the third level. All right. And you see that I have those flapjacks, those Kalanchoe Lucier, growing nicely. But I think they're being watered too much because they're very, very, very green. And they used to have the stressed color, the red. Although they're growing beautifully, I wanted to get a little red. So maybe I might hold off on the watering a little bit like I did last time. This one is my Cotyledon White Sprite, which is doing nicely. It has a lot of new growth there. And this top part, of course, doesn't look like the bottom because it's new. And that's that white powder. And it actually protects from the UV rays from the sun. So when this starts to become mature, it will actually start to get the white powder on top of it as well. This here is a sad case of an Aeonium that I tried to, that I purchased from a seller on Etsy, and it didn't do well from the shipment. I did get my money back, but they're not doing well. All of the leaves fell off and they're not doing well. Here's my living stones, and again, you saw this from last time, and over here, this is the one that was opening. So because it's opening, you're not supposed to water it. So I have not watered this. So those are my lithops. Here's another Kalanchoe, just not sure the type of Kalanchoe. Some more jade, so Crassula, my mini jade. Echeveria Runanii, the topsy-turvy. And you remember this from last time. This was the aloe Zanzibar, the Zanzibar aloe. And you see a lot of new growth now from the last video. I have in that little glass mason jar. This one has a little bit of new growth. So from the last video, you didn't even actually see those little two leaves coming in. And that's the Sedum Hernandezii. Some more Crassula Gallum. Over here, still not sure what this one is. I had some people say mimicry plant. Another person say Anacampsarrow. I don't know what this one is, but it's still growing. There you go. So if you get a better view, maybe you can help me with that one. And here my string of bananas doing beautifully. Like, look at these. Like, it's growing, like it's all on the floor. I have to bunch it up so nicely. And I have some more of those Vera Higgins in there with it. And also some Graptopetula Murasaki, which are doing horribly. These are gonna die. So those are there. This is my terrarium that I made with my girlfriend a couple of months ago. And if you saw from the beginning when I first made it, you would see how small the succulents were. They weren't even reaching out of the plant, not even touching to the outside of the terrarium, of the bowl. And now, as you see, they're like hanging out of it now. Look at those. So those were the Echeveria agavoides and the Hinton chicks. Over here's another aloe from the last video. It was very badly damaged, and now there's a lot of new growth coming in from the middle. So I'm happy about that. I have my Harry Butterfield doing nicely. Here. This one is a new one. You guys didn't see this one from the last video, and this is the Mother of Thousands. And all of those are babies that are on the edges of those leaves, and you can easily just pluck them off. Or if they fall off, as you see, they have little roots already at the bottom. So if they fall off, they will automatically give you a new plant. That's why it's called Mother of Thousands, because they can make thousands of plants. So if anybody want a plant, I can easily just pull one of these off, put it in the soil, and it'll grow. Mother of Thousands. Here, my Christmas cactus, or the Schlumbergera, has not bloomed yet, but I did get another Christmas cactus that did bloom, and that one is here. So that one is blooming and doing nicely. Okay, so that's two of those. Back here, I have the moon cactus. I'm only showing you the cactus here because it's still inside of the planter with the rest of the succulents. So more of the elephant bush and more of that Kalanchoe tomentosa, or the chocolate soldier, and this one is doing much better than the other. All right, some more sedums, I believe. And here is my propagation station. So I do have two sections. This one is the new one. This one is the older one. And I'll show you a video soon more on my propagation and what I do with them. And we'll go from there. But so far, this is my whole station here. Just like that. This is my little section. And if you want to go back to the first video, then you will see all about my lighting system and what I do, how I adjust the lights and so forth. But from that first video, I think I doubled or tripled in the amount of succulents that I purchased. But that's not it. I do have another arrangement that I recently made. Okay, and this is one of my favorites. This is my favorite bowl. Okay, my peaceful Zen. Look at my lady, my meditating woman. I love this one. So if you see here, I have an let's get it to focus. I have an Echeveria Tsunami. And you have the purple stone here. I have it with white rocks and all of those glass stones in there. This one is a Echeveria. We'll get back to her, but I definitely know the name of that one. This one is that Echeveria Dix Pink. last review from the Leaf and Clay. And you saw the Echeveria Dix Pink. It looked like a rose because it was so tight. And now that it has water and it's getting the light, now you see how much is opened. That's why I told you to wait for an update to see what it looks like when it's opened. So beautiful. So there's the Dix Pink. I have the Echeveria, another Echeveria here. I'm trying to think of the name of this one. This one is blue and white. I love this one. Echeveria Cassis Winter, one of my favorites. This is a 6-inch one. Look at the color on this one. Beautiful. Another Echeveria, not sure what the name of this one is. So I've been asking for help on this one. So any newcomers that can tell me what the name of that Echeveria is. Appreciate it. Have some more Fred Ives. So Echeveria Fred Ives, getting some really beautiful new growth in the middle. If you can see the color. And all my nice stones. And then right here in the middle is that beautiful Echeveria Raindrops. Yeah, Echeveria Raindrops. Beautiful, right? So yeah, so I did remember the name of that one. So that one is the Succulents. So that's the Echeveria Succulents variegata. Okay, and this one is the Echeveria imbricata. So yeah, you know how you forget things and then a few seconds later then you remember. All right, so that is my beautiful collection here, which I love. So that's my favorite section. So guys, this is what I'm doing for the fall. I've been watering my succulents once every 2 weeks, and I might try to stretch it even longer, but they stay under these lights for 12 hours a day. So in their mind, they're still being tricked that it's maybe spring or summer, because they're not just getting, they're not getting any window light at all. They're getting all lights from this T5. I have 2 T5 bulbs. What are they? Full spectrum bulbs in each shelving unit. So they're getting really good lighting. They're getting the heat. And I'm watering once every 2 weeks, and they're still growing. So I'm not sure if they'll even go into a dormancy stage at this point, because they're going to always be tricked into believing that it's a warmer climate. So right now I've only had 2 cases of death, and that was with my Echeveria Violet Queen that I had just received. And I believe it had too much root rot. And what I had to do was I had to propagate. So I will be showing you a video on what I did and how my propagation station is doing so far. So I just started with propagation, and this is how it looks so far. But again, I will be giving you a more in-depth video on my propagation method and my success with it. Okay guys, so this was part 1. All right, all on my succulents, and look forward to part 2, when I will be now discussing my cacti collection, which is a very small collection, but I'm having fun with that one. So I'm excited to see how much that one is going to grow. And then part 3 would be my houseplants, and they have grown considerably. So I'm excited for you guys to see that. So again, guys, thank you for coming to visit and for watching. And I wish you nothing but peace and blessings and happy growing.